On this stretch of sidewalk off Key Street, it's a little unsettling walking around with the combination of snow and ice on the ground. Nearly a foot of snow has fallen in Eau Claire over the past week, where the rain continues to come down at a steady rate. And what we're seeing is the product of Tropical Storm Cristobal. And with me now is Skywarn 13 meteorologist Tucker Antico to break down what exactly we are seeing here tonight. Tucker? Before today, restaurants in Eau Claire could get sidewalk cafe permits and expand their alcohol service seasonally to the sidewalks as well. Judy, School Board President Robin Elvig says she was made aware of the arrest of Dan Peggs around 8 this morning. He is currently being held in Dane County, but Elvig says if he is allowed to return to Altoona, he will be immediately placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. Yeah, Danielle, we're here in the village of Cadott. Luckily, officials say there have been no reported or known injuries from the storm that ripped through the village a little more than an hour or so ago. Right now, I'm standing on the intersection of Main Street and McCrae, and while there are no injuries, there is a lot of damage. If you could see, lots of trees that are down. Crews starting to work on that now. Lots of roofs along this intersection also have been blown off. There are officials from 3 different fire agencies from around the area, Anson, Boyd, and Cadott, all working here, and I'm sure they're going to be working throughout much of the night. We heard earlier Darren say reports of a roof blown off a church down here in Cadott. That's about a block away from where we are right now, and you can see the exposed top of the roof on that church. But again, officials say luckily there are no reported injuries that they know of right now, just a lot of cleanup that needs to be done. And one thing officials do say is that they really want people to avoid this area as much as they can. They do have much of the street closed off right now as they work to clean up. But again, if you are by Cadott, please avoid the area for now. Officials say they need to get this cleaned up as quickly as possible. For now, reporting live in Cadott, Zach Prelutsky, WEAU 13 News. Hey, Bob and Danielle. The Wisconsin legislature originally filed the lawsuit with the Wisconsin Supreme Court back on April 21st. And 8 days after oral arguments took place, the Supreme Court came back with a decision striking down the Safer at Home extension. And according to Eau Claire City County Health Department Director Lise Gagisi, that means the Safer at Home order ended today. On Wednesday, the Wisconsin Supreme Court coming back with a decision on the Safer at Home order extension. In a 4-3 decision, the court ruling the extension by Department of Health Services Secretary-designee Andrea Palm was an overstep by the administration.
When one person can make these sorts of decisions, that's the definition of tyranny. That was a pretty telltale comment going into this, so I suspected that the order would be overturned. The process here on out is to work in conjunction with the elected officials in the legislature, I would think.
The decision comes more than a week after oral arguments were made to the justices. Attorneys for the legislature arguing an unelected cabinet official does not have the power to act without input from the legislature. While attorneys for Palm say the secretary can use any means necessary to protect the public during a public health emergency.
They have thrown the state into chaos. They have provided no plan. There's no question among anybody that people are going to get sick. We presently lead the Midwest in having the fewest cases per capita, and the Republicans own that chaos.
Following the decision by the Supreme Court, the Safer at Home order as we knew it no longer exists. In the lawsuit, the legislature asked for a 6-day stay of the current order to come up with a new plan. But the justices denied the stay, meaning the Safer at Home order extension ended with the ruling, confirmed by Eau Claire City County Health Department Director Lise Gagisi. At least one group of businesses says it's ready to reopen immediately. Wednesday evening, the Tavern League of Wisconsin telling its members they can open right now.
Thank God we've got an opportunity to survive, and that's really the reaction that I've heard from a lot of our members. Is we have an opportunity now to dig out of this economic canyon that we've been in. You know, we're not going to go back to normal probably for a couple of years. And the utmost importance for us is the safety of our customers and our employees.
Some local Republican officials have supported a regionalized reopening of the state, but Democrats say that could lead to a surge in cases in western Wisconsin.
We've had very few cases, and I know that we can do this safely and responsibly. I also recognize it is important to give the people of this state a voice and an opportunity to make their own responsible decisions.
It would most definitely put us all at risk if you opened up one region, so people from another region that is already having a surge or having a lot of cases, bring it to us. Because why wouldn't they? You know, if all of a sudden things are opened up in one place, why wouldn't they travel to that place?
Now, elected officials on both sides of the aisle will have to try to work together to potentially come up with a new plan to put restrictions in place against COVID-19. And the following statement was released by Lise Gagisi and the Eau Claire City County Health Department, saying in part, quote, "The Eau Claire City County Health Department is consulting with state and local authorities about possible next steps. In the meantime, in the interest of preventing spread of COVID-19, we respectfully request that Eau Claire County residents voluntarily continue to follow safe social distancing policies." And down here on Water Street, guys, there are some places that are letting customers in. One place we spoke to says they're only going to be open until about 11, and they're only keeping the capacity at 50%, saying tonight is sort of a test run. Reporting live in Eau Claire, Zach Prelutsky, WEAU 13 News. Bob, there are 11 freshmen on the UWEC wrestling team, but arguably the newcomer with the biggest impact on the entire team has been 10-year-old Samuel Settlebauer. In just the few months he's been with the program, he's already built bonds that go way beyond the mat.
Dad, we can't find my strap!
10-year-old Samuel Settlebauer is not your typical member of the UW Eau Claire wrestling team.
We noticed his gross motor skills were behind what most kids were, so we did a simple test when he was 5 years old, which diagnosed him with Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
Through an organization called Team Impact that connects kids with serious diseases and athletic programs, Samuel signed a letter of intent to join the program before the season.
It's meant a lot because Samuel has opened up. He's a little shy, you know, when he first meets people and stuff, but he's just a happy little boy.
Duchenne muscular dystrophy occurs in 1 out of every 3,600 male infants, according to the National Library of Medicine. The disease causes muscle weakness and loss of muscle tissue.
Gives you a different perspective, I guess, on wrestling and life, and he brings such a positive energy and atmosphere. You could be having a tough day at school or things like that, but then just to see Sammy just kind of brightens up your day. The smile he has just makes you want to smile and go through practice with, I don't know, a lot more joy and just enthusiasm.
Chase Melton and Samuel both joined the Blue Gold family this season.
We feel that he's just really a part of the team. He comes to all the meets and stuff, so we just really feel that like he's a part of that wrestling family, that wrestling team.
Samuel usually comes to practice every Monday and tries to attend every meet.
It's a really neat experience getting to know these guys, and they're just the salt of the earth, every one of these guys, and they are like big brothers to Samuel.
The letter of intent that Samuel signed at the beginning of this season lasts for 2 years. But even when his official time on the Blue Gold team comes to an end, the relationships that have been built will last for a lifetime.
I can see ourselves being a part of this university for life.
Blue Gold wrestler for life, yeah.
And before joining the team, Samuel didn't have much of an interest in the sport of wrestling, but that is something that has definitely changed for both him and his father. Many people are adjusting to life following the safer at home order, and so are many businesses that had been forced to close their doors for nearly 2 months. But business is not going on as usual now, and many places have been adjusting during the past week to this new normal for now. It's been 1 week since the statewide safer at home order ended. Earlier that same day, Revival Records opened its doors for the first time since March, after Governor Tony Evers allowed the standalone retail shop to open with limitations.
We closed just about as unexpectedly as we opened. As soon as we heard the Governor Evers order that we could open back up, we were right on it.
Like many businesses, Revival Records in Eau Claire started a curbside pickup program, but is having to adjust to allowing customers back into the store again. The record store has hand sanitizer at the front of the shop for each customer who walks in. Employees sanitize the records as much as possible, and all customers are encouraged to wear masks.
We're here to serve and help people and give them a product that they want and need music, and that's all we want them to be walking out of this store with is music and not a serious respiratory disease.
At the Northern Tap House, the staff started preparing to reopen after the order was struck down, spending last week training on new policies and opening for dine-in on Monday.
I think we've taken a lot of proper precautions so our guests feel safe and they seem very happy. I've noticed that our guests all have a lot more patience with us as the process takes a little bit longer.
Among the changes in the restaurant, all staff members are wearing masks and gloves and getting their temperatures checked before their shift. Tables are spaced out more, and the restaurant even hired new positions where the only job is to clean.
Our staff has been amazing at adapting to all the changes because it's a lot. We're throwing a lot at them.
As businesses adjust to the new reality, Eau Claire City County Health Department Director Lisa Gizzi says there's a mixed reaction when it comes to easing back into the swing of it.
We have seen business owners, we have seen individuals, we've gotten feedback from many, many people that there's a clear understanding that there was a reason for the state order and that we need to slowly and progressively have that trajectory of disease happen, that we can't have it happen suddenly. We also are hearing and seeing reports of people that don't think that there's a problem.
At both Northern Tap House and Revival Records, their goal is simple: open back up and keep everybody safe. Now, at the Northern Tap House, their hours have been shortened for the time being, and at Revival Records, they are limiting the number of people in the shop at once for now. In the newsroom, Zach Prelutsky, WEAU 13 News.